What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome into NYJ today.
What's going on?
Excited to be live with you. Holy hell.
Get them up to speed with what's just been happening.
So, it's been a journey, to say the least, as far as the technical difficulties the last 2 weeks. I don't even know why it's been like that, but it has. And we're just happy to be live, and we're happy to be talking Jets football with you. How's your work week?
It's a week, man. Just bear with us for a little bit. We're just trying to make sure that things are working because
it's streaming.
I'm not. We're still showing some StreamYard is on, but we'll just give it a little bit.
So we are going to start with the first topic of the night. It says, "What do you want the Jets to do at picks 23 and 34? Who are you targeting?" And I have a list here of players, so I will continue to go with this one. So. The 23rd overall pick, I feel like the New York Jets need to be targeting an offensive lineman. And his offensive lineman is Wyatt Davis from Ohio State University. And I just feel like he's a plug-and-play kind of guy. And, dominated in the running game. This dude is an absolute mauler of a guard. What are you doing?
I'm trying to make sure the stream's working, so I'm just going.
We have people watching.
Oh, is it good? Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure.
So,
what's up, guys?
At the other position, or the other player that I've really been wanting to consider with the Jets' 23rd pick is J.C. Horn, cornerback from South Carolina. I just feel like he would be an absolute steal. 6'1", 205 pounds. This dude actually has more sacks in college football than he does interceptions, which isn't necessarily a bad thing in a press defense kind of role.
Yep.
Because they can get in there, like if they're blitzing too a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's the thing, you can show a pressure look and then just blitz off of it, and it fucks with people.
What teams really run that really well?
I don't know.
In the NFL.
Why don't you pull up the chat while you're sitting
I'm waiting for it to load. And the stream is working. We got confirmation.
Okay, it's your computer that's not loading. I gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Johnny on the spot, I'll get it. So
I think that there's a lot they can do. I can kind of compose myself. I think there's a lot they can do with the 23rd pick, and the 23rd pick to me is very interesting to see what the Jets do because a lot depends on what they do at 2, but they could trade away that pick and maybe really try to fill up the depth chart from there. I don't think they'll do that, but I'm just saying they have a lot of flexibility, a lot of options with what they do with the 23rd pick.
Okay, so multiple options, and I would agree. So I do have 2 other players that I'm looking at. So edge Patrick Jones from Pitt, 6'5", 260 pound, has 21.5 career sacks in college football, and every single year, this is from freshman year to I believe his senior year this year, every year he improved in his sack total. It always was going up.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think he started out at like half a sack his freshman year, but was like, nah, that's not good enough. Yeah. I'm gonna step up.
But you can see signs, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. And I really like him. He's an edge rusher. If we cannot sign somebody in free agency, which is still my preferred option, I would rather sign somebody with some money. Yeah. I'm thinking Trey Hendrickson. I'm thinking Yannick Ngakoue. Those 2 dudes would be wonderful for our defense. I mean, really, really good. To have a pass rusher finally that can get after them.
Since when we had the Big 4 out there.
Yes.
Yep.
Yannick Ngakoue, 5 seasons I believe he's played. Every season over 8 or more sacks every year. Yeah. That's consistency. That's really good too.
And that's right now,
Yes. He's 20 and he's 25.
All right. It's really young, man.
So Yannick, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I'm a big Najee fan. Najee at 23 is, I think, a real possibility. Terrence Marshall is another name I really like. We need the wide receiver talent. I think he's 6'4", John? 6'3", 6'4", something like that.
Which player?
Terrence,
yes.
So big physical receiver, has speed, has routing ability. I think he runs pretty good routes. Has some things he could improve on. But I would put Terrence Marshall as a fan favorite for me anyway at 23rd pick.
So getting a wide receiver, definitely.
I'm going offense. So let me just break it down. I think they should go, and I think they will go offense with the 23rd. The 34th is kind of a wild card. I'm leaning more on somewhat going defense with that pick. I don't think you like the person I think for 34th.
Oh, I do not like your 34th pick. Are we doing that one too now? I'm ready for it.
I'm just transitioning us into that.
I like it.
Yeah, go ahead. You go.
So 34?
34.
Well, all those players, if they could just fall a little bit, I'd also like them at 34. No, I do have another name, wide receiver Kadarius Toney. We've been talking about him on the channel. You've heard me say his name multiple times.
Yep.
He, without a question, is the joystick of this draft. He can juke people like it's his job, literally. That's what he does. I mean, he is a sick runner with the football.
Yeah.
Really is. Like, he had one move, and I think I mentioned it last time. He does, like, literally, like a back juke.
Yeah.
And I always laughed about that. But his knee, it was crazy the control he had of where his knees were bending. He had them literally inches off of the ground and stayed up and then ran.
That's unbelievable.
That's the kind of runner that Alvin Kamara is. And Kadarius Toney's not a running back.
Yeah.
But put him in the open field. Let him do some things.
Oh, my God. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm big on Kadarius Toney, as you can see. I love the big plays that I feel like he's going to make in the NFL. Like, I can just see him doing it. Wide receiver screens, jet sweeps. Kadarius Toney, you know, he can do it all, I feel like. And he even lined up as a running back at certain points for Florida last year. So, yeah, man, just put him all over the field and just think about how that will distract defenses. Because that's what those players end up becoming. They become one of those things where you decoy them half the time, but then the other half of the time they're getting the ball and they're making stuff happen. Like, it's just...
But also comes with some risk as well. Because with all the dancing comes...
Injuries?
Injuries.
That's fair.
Turnovers.
I will not hate on that. Okay.
You know? So, you know, I mean...
Grandpa Willie over here worried about the turnovers.
You know there's names out there who came into the league with that very kind of skill set, right?
Yeah.
Some of them didn't make it.
Yes.
Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush was a beast in college and was definitely a juker. I hear what you're saying.
I'm just saying.
All right.
Just saying. I don't mean to rain on anyone's parade.
That's a fair point to point. I like the Reggie Bush comparison. I mean, Reggie Bush, he was a good player in the NFL. He just wasn't a dominant player.
He wasn't a good player. He survived for a period of time where he didn't get cut.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
Oh, 100%.
Reggie
from Miami, bro.
What's up, Jason Rhodes? We're glad to see you, man.
What's going on, man?
Cheers to you, Jason.
I'm empty, though.
Well, go get some beers. It's all good. I can still talk about any of these players a little bit more. I actually have... I wanted to talk
I'll give you my name. One of my names.
For 34?
Rondale Moore.
Rondale Moore. Out of what?
What
college did he go to? I need to know. I'm pretty sure...
I didn't put it in my notes.
That's all right.
I think Alabama?
Nah. Alabama is the shit. Devonta Smith.
I got him.
Yeah, and there's another one. Jalen Waddell. I got him.
All right.
Don't even come at me.
All right.
You had me laughing, though. But Jalen Waddell and Devonta Smith are the Alabama receivers. Go ahead. Talk about a little about Rondale Moore.
I mean, 1,300 yards as a freshman in both running and receiving.
That's nice. Like, combined, right?
Yeah, combined. Absolutely. But I mean, oh my gosh, you're the best. Ghost hands. I just like the versatility there. We're extremely weak on offense. We were aged beyond belief in running back. So to have someone who can somewhat do multiple things as a Swiss Army knife, I don't think is a bad thing, especially for a team with an offense where we were. I think that the more explosive talent, whether it actually ends up being superstar or not, I think is worth taking the risk on right now. But
Robbie Oak in the chat said, "Evening, fellas, we made it."
Cheers
that's
to that, man.
Hilarious.
Cheers. No, so that's a big name of mine. I'll tell you the name that John hates, and that's Andre Cisco from Syracuse. I just think that was based on some of his late game play in the season, of his 2020 season.
Okay.
I think again, I don't know if that talent will end up panning out.
Sure.
But I think
any of these players.
I think it's worth the experiment with some of this young talent, especially with the fact that we have Robert now coaching the team as one of the new age, defensive minds of the league.
Yes.
I think we exploit that and take some risks on players that could end up paying dividends in the end.
Yeah, I love players with versatility. You're talking my language when you talk about that. Like, that's what you need. You need people that can do multiple things. The NFL you can't be one-dimensional. It makes it too easy on defenses to really know what you're going to do. Like, it's one of the reasons why I'm actually siding towards the idea that we need to let players like Jamison Crowder go.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think he's a fan favorite. He's a decent player. I don't think he's ever going to really be a 1,000-yard receiver.
He's inconsistent.
Well, no, he's not. I don't know if he's inconsistent, but
how is he not?
Here's the thing with Jamison.
Are you going to say that? Oh, it's because of Darnold? Is that what you're going to say?
No, he has been decent. What I'm saying is,
I didn't say decent. I said not consistent.
Decent is the same thing. He's not a great player.
Put it in the comments. Is decent the same as inconsistent?
So, I feel like we need to consider cutting Jamison Crowder. If you just let me finish. Save $10 million. That's what we would save. The Jets would save $10 million if we cut Jamison Crowder. Mm-hmm. And that's money that we can apply this off season. Yep. And I get it. We don't want to go big fish shopping. We don't want to spend a bunch of money. Fine. That's Joe Douglas's approach, literally, is to not spend a lot of money. But what I think about is if you could cut Jamison, he's getting a little bit older. He's like 28-ish, 29.
Is he already?
I think so.
Wow.
You can replace him with Curtis Samuel, who's I think 24.
Wow. Yeah.
And he's fast, and he's versatile. He can be on the outside. He can be on the inside. I don't know how you guys think in the chat, but I feel like Jamison Crowder is a good player. I just think that we can replace him with somebody who's more explosive. He is one of the best. So Jason Rhodes just said he's one of the best slot guys in the AFC. Absolutely. He's a very, very good wide receiver, excuse me. But that's all he is. Like, that's his only thing he really can do. Jamison Crowder, you can't put him outside. There's no motions that we can do with Jamison Crowder, really, that are going to, worry NFL defenses. He's never going to take a jet sweep. So when he goes in motion, who cares?
Yeah, he won't fake anyone.
The offense needs to start incorporating those modern-day NFL shit. We don't do that. Why don't we have the sweep in our offense?
Well,
the Chiefs do it.
We don't really have the talent for it, though.
But that's my point, though.
Yeah,
is Crowder can't. He is not a jet sweep dude. You don't give
I
him the ball and ask him to run for it. I don't think he would do well in that role. So
I totally agree.
All right, so we got...
I think Grant Rude, hey guys. What's going on, man?
Yeah, that's true. All right, Robbie Oak, my man.
What did he say?
He said Crabette didn't play outside. Crabette did play a little bit outside, but I get your point. I'm not going to argue on that one for sure. Let's get to some comments. Busted Knuckles said Rondale Moore played 1/3 of his college games because he was always hurt. I'd pass on him. He is awesome, though, when he does play.
That's a good point.
Fair to say, and yes, absolutely.
Touche.
Jason Rhodes said, let's talk about what to do with the 7th round pick. Michelle said we should keep him. He's good. He used picks and money for more dire positions. He and Sam the last 3 years, too. That is true. If they do keep Sam Darnold, I think they will keep Crowder. Anyway, too many holes on this team to create new ones. No, listen, I wouldn't cut Crowder unless we were going to get somebody to replace him.
100%.
It would be only way. So
he's inconsistent, but I wouldn't drop him.
Right. So let's give you another scenario. If Curtis Samuel doesn't want to sign with the Jets, no way do I cut Crowder. I'll make that very clear. He shouldn't go anywhere unless we're replacing him. All right.
That's good clarification for him.
I think so. All right. You got anybody else you want to talk about the 23, 34? I got one more name we need to talk a little bit more about.
No, I just had my 4.
Okay. So I got J.C. Horn. I mentioned him earlier. So we talk about, the kid from Virginia. His name's already... Oh, Bryce Hall. Sorry.
Yeah.
So Bryce Hall, he showed some decent cornerback play at the end of the year last year, and he's a physical dude. He's a tall guy. He's a long arm guy, and I feel like if we take J.C. Horn, sign an edge rusher, which is my hope too.
That's what you were going after.
We could potentially have a much different defense. We would have 2 young, tall, long cornerbacks on the outside, young. Yeah. And then we would have all this edge presence then after signing somebody.
You could actually start getting some...
That's the thing, turnovers. Yeah. I miss getting... that's the biggest... To me, one of the best plays in football in the whole game. Pick sixes are dope. There's
I don't
nothing.
get enough of them.
There's not enough. A pick six is the greatest play, in my opinion. That's why that New Orleans Saints Super Bowl win was so crazy.
Yeah, very true.
They picked six Manning for the game.
No, or the Pittsburgh game against Seattle.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
No, Cardinals. It was Cardinals.
Oh man, the one
with James Harrison, dude.
He landed on his head and scored a touchdown.
Dude. That guy's a beast.
That was crazy. Oh man. Let's see. Grant Rude said, I like keeping Crowder this year. Drafting Elijah Moore with the late second-round pick acquired from Darnold to groom behind him. I will have to learn about Elijah Moore. I won't even come out and say I know who he is or I know about him. I really only know maybe the top 5 quarterbacks in this draft.
Vaguely.
I just assume that if the Jets do address the quarterback position, they're not going to draft another mid-round quarterback because they just took James Morgan in the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they may well do it. I mean, I could see it. The Eagles did that. They would draft a lot of quarterbacks even when they had a quarterback on the team. So maybe it's not impossible for sure. All right, we are going to...
my last one.
We're going to move on to topic 2. Justin Fields or Zach Wilson. We're now starting to get a sense of where the consensus is, I think.
It was pretty split, though, for a while, though. I was reading articles back and forth. And there was actual camps. There was actual committed fandom for each one of those of where they should be in the draft. And
I'm going to get the chat excited for a second.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to preach a little.
All right. Hey, the pulpit's yours.
I got to. So... Chris Sims is a former quarterback, son of Phil Sims.
Of course.
So he actually puts out his rankings on quarterbacks every draft. He's done it for the last several years. And a lot of people are talking about this on social media. So if you haven't heard about this, stay tuned. Excuse me. So the idea here is that in the Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Darnold, Mayfield, and Rosen draft,
right,
he put them in literally perfect order. He put his rankings out prior to the draft, before he even knew where they were going, and ranked Lamar Jackson 1, Josh Allen 2, Baker Mayfield 3, Darnold 4, and Rosen 5, and he had it in perfect order. And again,
oh my gosh,
before the draft, nothing. We didn't know a lot. He just saw he was able to watch them and see things maybe a little bit differently. So when Patrick Mahomes was coming out, who was the number 1 quarterback on his list?
Yeah.
It was Patrick Mahomes.
Was it really?
It was Patrick Mahomes. He had him ahead of Trubisky. He had him ahead of Deshaun Watson.
Where'd he get Deshaun though?
I probably 2. That would be my guess, but I don't know.
He might have got that wrong. Is what I'm saying.
Right. Well, so the list. Yeah, where we're going is the list he put out. It was either today or yesterday.
Oh, what was the order?
Zach Wilson was 1.
Yeah. Well, Mel said the same thing, and so did some of the other outlets.
Dude, Mel does not have him 1. No, he does not.
No, not 1. I thought we were just talking about number 2.
No.
Oh, you're saying...
Chris Sims is saying that Zach Wilson is the best player in the draft.
Oh,
He's saying
what the heck, man?
He has him ahead of Trevor Lawrence.
No way, bro.
You didn't just hear what I said?
I didn't hear it.
Are you deaf?
I misread it. I thought we were talking about the number 2 pick.
Sims has been calling who the number 1 quarterback is in several drafts.
Get out of here. He's on that pipe.
I don't
there's
agree.
No way. I'm saying there's no way that Jacksonville passes on Trevor.
Yeah, so the chat's got me on the back here. So it says he's got Fields as the 5th rated quarterback.
Holy shit.
He has him below somebody named Kellen Mond from Texas A&M, I'm pretty sure.
That's horrible. Someone should take him off the news waves.
I don't know, man. There's something to it. I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, maybe he's dumb luck or whatever, but he's hit on him a bunch of times.
There's no way. No. I mean...
People are drooling over Zach Wilson.
Yes, and I agree Zach is the better quarterback between him and Justin, but I can't... There's nothing that I've seen where you could say that Zach would be elevated above Trevor. And then even just looking at Trevor's pro day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get that.
I don't think that either. I still think Trevor Lawrence is the cream in the crop. But what I'm saying is you can't deny Chris Sims' eye for really good quarterbacks. I mean, he's calling them out before the draft too. He's like saying who he would take 1.
I get the others. The others weren't as don't know, extravagant or crazy.
Patrick Mahomes
As number 1?
He went 10th overall.
I know, but that doesn't seem as crazy to me as Zack over Trevor.
Goddamn Jets passed on Patrick Mahomes.
That's our MO.
For a safety.
Our last stream talked about that very topic.
So, Busted Knuckles is coming in. He said, if you watch film, there's a lot to love about Zack and issues with T-Law. I mean, I think you can scrutinize every prospect. Even the best of the best can get scrutinized.
I mean, Justin was getting the same scrutiny. He was having a mediocre season, and then he balled out in the championship game. Or was that the...
Talking about Wilson?
Fields.
Oh, man, yeah. It was the semifinal.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Fields... I feel like that's a little bit disrespectful. The 5 to Justin Fields. He's not my number 1 quarterback. He's my 3rd quarterback.
Who's your number 1? Can we agree? Me and you agree on that?
Yes, I 100% still would take Trevor Lawrence over.
Yeah. Okay.
Zach Wilson.
All right.
But that's my point, though. Is like there's actually like some people who find it to be a debate, and that's interesting.
Yeah, and yeah, no, I see where you're going. I just don't see what they see, I guess.
Correct. I would agree.
Versus the others, I've seen.
You see Lawrence as a Greek god. Let's just be honest.
I really did.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Let's catch up on chat.
Jason Rhodes. All right, so listen, you put out a name, Mac Jones. Tell me. So, everything that I...
Or should they call the number?
Say that one more time? Oh, yeah, you could also call... I have to give the number. I don't have it offhand right now. You called me, though, so pull it up on your phone. It's on your lap.
Thank you.
So, I'll actually need to update our banner here. We would actually love to get some calls tonight. We got one last week. It was pretty awesome. Maybe you're not into that, and that's cool if you aren't.
You want to
but
put this number in the chat?
I am going to.
Oh, you can put there. I'm ready to give it to you.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry, guys. Stall.
That's what we call running.
Go ahead.
302 404 4460.
All right,
I was
perfect.
going to say this is running as fast as you can.
Yeah, I was going pretty quick there. All right. Oh, I put too many 2s there. Sorry about that.
We are not international. We are not in the Netherlands.
Anyway, give us a call. So Jason Rhodes, if you don't want to call, just let us know in the chat. We would love to see what you think about Mac Jones. So you're taking Justin Fields over Zach Wilson? Is that where I'm getting the sense here?
No, I'm with Zach. I'm with that.
Right.
I mean,
I would take Zach Wilson as well.
Yeah, I mean...
It's pretty apparent since we've only talked about him.
Yes, I'm trying to be the devil's advocate, but I really can't. Although the funny thing is the funny stat that I found was that Justin and Zach are very similar in dimensions. Both 6'3". Justin is 223. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
But Justin's got a little bit more weight on him, but that's crazy. For some reason I thought Zach was much taller than Justin, at least what I see on camera. So I found that interesting.
The number should be on the stream, guys. I put it in the banner at the top, but I will throw it in the chat. There's a couple people wanting to call, so
get on in here.
Yep.
Let's have a little coffee talk.
Yep. So we're done with topic 2. I think we've hammered that one. We really do think... I feel like Zach Wilson's just more talented in general. Like, he's good on the run. He's got a strong arm.
Again, for me, it's consistency. I think Zach showed more of that, although not as deep in his college career. I think.
True. No, he had his one big pop, but he played before that, though. He was playing...
Kind of gives you like a Mark Sanchez vibe.
Or it could give you a Joe Burrow vibe.
True.
Joe Burrow exploded his last year. He was terrible the year before that. Like pretty average, I should say.
It's a good
transition.
Yeah. I go with Zach. However, I think anyone who does get Justin Fields should not feel bad or that they got like a second class.
I don't see it that way either. I really don't. I think that either one of them is talented. I think Zach Wilson definitely can succeed in the NFL. All right, so topic 3, we are we are going to discuss Russell Wilson. Is he available? Do you think he's available? Would you trade for him? I'll let you go first. I feel pretty strongly about this one.
How about we do this? Deshaun versus Russell. I think we're all on the same page. We go Deshaun at that point. I don't really know. I don't think I haven't read any preliminary numbers of what Russell's looking for, so I can't really like in the debate of, you get Russell at such a lower cost or similar cost. Without knowing that, I can't go down that road. But what I will say, I think we can pretty much stand together shoulder to shoulder that we would go for Deshaun versus Russell if given the option.
Absolutely,
to
yes.
both.
Yes.
And so I want to put that out there when we start debating these two. I would say for Russell, I'm only interested. I guess I'll only be more interested depending on how the Jets do in the draft, because Russell's a win now quarterback, and it doesn't really make sense to maybe blow some of our cap on Russell with who's.
Let's get this caller.
Oh, perfect.
What's up? How you doing? Who is this? What's up?
Hey, this is Jason from Indiana.
What's up, Jason?
What's
How you
going on,
doing,
Jason?
man?
Fantastic. You wanted to hear a little Mac Jones.
Yeah, dude. Give me that spiel. I want to hear about it. Sell it on me. I'm going to let you talk for a little bit.
Well, here's my thing. Is out of all the quarterbacks, there's only... we know who's going number one, right? We're all pretty consensus with that.
I
Yes.
think so, except for Chris Sims.
Okay. So, who holds the next percentage completion of 20-plus yards? I mean, out of all the other quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Mac Jones.
I gotta take a look at those stats.
So, well, no,
He's a very intellectual quarterback. I actually like Mac Jones. Number 3, probably took the field.
Wow.
I'm not a big BYU guy. I don't like the guy. I just don't think he'd be a good fit here.
Okay, so you think Zach Wilson might give off like the wrong vibes, or you just don't think he'd be a good enough quarterback to play for the team?
I just don't think his attitude would fit well in New York.
Interesting.
I like that. It's a good perspective.
He could do well in a market like Philadelphia.
Or Oakland.
Oakland, yeah. See, now you're
I'm with you. I know where you're going with this.
I just don't like it. There's just a vibe that he gives off that I think that if he were in New York, we as New York fans
Hype
would
him up.
typically just love him.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they would crown him. That is true. They did that with Darnold too, man.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, and you know the problem with Donald is that I don't think he had he was a Southern California boy in high school, Southern California boy in college, and then you come to the Big Apple.
Yeah.
And boy, you just weren't ready.
Right.
You just weren't ready.
He really wasn't, and I think that's the thing that we don't talk enough about was that Darnold coming out legitimately had a turnover problem coming out of USC.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Awesome,
What
man.
were the-
Well,
I don't think he was mentally ready for the NFL on top of being in New York.
absolutely.
Maybe he went to San Diego, okay. New York, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to be pretty thick-skinned, and you better play well from day one.
Yeah.
At least average day one, or we as fans will rake you over the coals.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. Like, he didn't look atrocious all the time during his first 2 seasons. Now, I get it. He played some pretty bad games. But there were moments where you were kind of like, okay, like, he definitely balled out pretty good. If we could just support him a little bit more, maybe there's potential for more. But he just fell flat too many times. He was terrible in too many games.
Well, he was coming. His strengths on his QB report was his mobility and his arm strength.
Right.
Right.
All right, so tell me a little bit more about Mac before I get you off this damn phone. You got anything for Mac?
We might have lost him.
We lost you, dude. You there?
Thanks for
Can
calling.
you hear me?
There you are.
You came back.
Yeah. My thing is, you take Mac at 23.
If he's there, if they pass on a quarterback at 2 and he's there at 23, that could be tempting.
Who's your backup? Who's your alternate at 23 if Mac's not there?
Good question.
Okay, well, if he's not there, then you get a hold of Washington, and you sign Alex Smith for 2 years, and you draft Kyle Trask in the 4th. And Kyle Trask doesn't see the field for a year and a half.
Yep. All right, so there you go.
I like it.
And then you take all that draft capital and you put a brick wall in front of it. You take, Landon Dickerson. You take Wyatt Davis.
Oh, I want Wyatt Davis, dude.
Kyle Pitt.
Yeah, now we're talking. We were talking about trading up or trading down and still taking Kyle Pitt.
Kyle Pitts.
Yes. So now you've got an experienced quarterback, not the greatest, but did well with when he was in Kansas City.
So I'll let you go after this one more. There's a little bit of you've stirred the pot in the chat, so you're gonna have to answer. You got someone said, kill him for not playing well, but off the field. And I don't know if they're taking it the same way that I'm thinking you are saying it. You're basically saying like New York was just a little bit too big, the lights were too bright, and he kind of got shell-shocked. When he screwed up, he felt the pressure.
Got mono shot.
Exactly. It's not. I'm not saying he's a bad kid by any means.
Yep.
What I'm saying is he grew up in a. Now, mind you, Sam Darnold went to a 2A high school. Now, if you know anything about 2A high schools,
I do not.
No.
it's a small school. It's just a small California high school.
Yeah.
So he didn't have the big pressure then. So then he went to USC. He kind of got a pass to go to USC because USC was one of 2 D1 schools that offered him a scholarship. Why is that? That was an alumni thing.
I like your perspectives. I like it.
Yeah, dude.
It's a different take.
Your name's Jason Rhodes, right?
Yeah.
Dude,
Right, yeah.
we love talking to you. If you have one more last thing you want to shout out real quick, we'll let you go after that. We're going to take another call.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dave, we've got to figure out how to get your volume up, or not volume, but your viewers up.
Oh, listen,
dang.
I know, man. It's hard. It's a hard little industry to kick down. I think I've got, I feel like I've been putting out pretty good content. We're working hard for that.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
So it'll
Thanks,
come.
man.
It takes time, man.
We've got to figure out how to get your viewers up and your audience up, because I think that most Jets fans that I talk to, we're all on the same page. You guys have been pretty balanced back and forth.
Appreciate that, man. It means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Jason, you're the best,
Hey,
man.
man, it's great talking to you guys.
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah,
dude.
It's 8:30 my time, so I'm old and that's about time for us old parts to go to bed. And I'll listen for a little bit, yeah.
Hey,
All right.
thank you,
Thank
Jason.
you, sir. You have a great night. Thank you so much.
Hey, you guys do.
All right,
See
go
ya.
Jets. Take
Bye
care.
now.
Awesome caller. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Jason Rhodes, for giving
Great.
us a call.
Every time we do that, I feel like it gets better and better.
Yeah, it is.
it's
Yep.
just- you guys are
We're
great.
talking to the Jets
You
community.
guys
That's
are
what it's all
taking,
about.
you're taking your time out of your day, whether you're on, West Coast time, East Coast
Exactly.
time. Means a lot to us. So I'm glad you guys are here, and
They're
thanks
sticking
for
through it,
calling
too.
in.
We see you guys every week.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the same people.
Yeah, we got our own little clique. Got another call.
Another caller. Let's go. I think this is Joe. Is this Joe?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey,
How's it
Joe.
going, man?
My man.
Sorry if I lose you, I'm driving. No disrespect to the last caller, he was great. I just need to kind of rebut a little bit. Dan Darnold was a professional. The dude was a stand-up kid from day one. He never had any off the field. I don't think the Big Apple was too bright for him or whatever. Personally, We all know that. And he took his shot to keep his job to get Sam Darnold because of his potential. But Sam Darnold's the same dude he was in in college. Same shitty footwork.
No, we curse.
Good,
listen, Joe, I literally clicked the button that says not for kids, so curse away, buddy.
All right, good. Same shitty footwork then. And he has obviously great pocket presence, or he did, but he's still, did you ever guys see him play against Ohio State?
Yes.
We watched that video. Joe, we watched that video. I know we did. Yeah.
So Joey Bosa was eating him alive. That's the game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, man. He's the same dude. He's the same kid. He's still young. Great. He's still young, but he's the same quarterback he was in college. He just hasn't taken the next step. And part of that's obviously the Jets' fault. Part of that's his fault. Part of that's just because he was a linebacker in high school, And that's just, he hasn't been playing the position for a long time. I think we all know that, but the problem obviously with Sam is that he's too expensive. He's going to be too expensive now, and I don't think they want to strap the Sam and give him all this money on his fifth option or whatever. But I just don't think it was too much for him mentally. I think it was just not a great place for him.
Listen, man, you're not wrong on any of that. Like, we can all talk about what a good kid Sam Darnold. Like, he is a good dude. Like, that's the kind of guy that I have a daughter, so like I can say this. So if Sam Darnold came to my door, I'd be like, yeah, you can take my daughter out on a date. That would be totally cool. Because he's a good dude.
Listen, you gotta watch out for gingers, though, man. They're sneaky. Sneaky as hell.
You're the man.
You are the man. Nice. All right. So anything else you got for Jets related? You want to spit fire here?
I just wanted to throw out my little take on Zack Wilson and the quarterbacks, and I'll let you guys roll with the show.
All good.
I'm a film junkie in my spare time, but I don't do it for a living or whatever. But kind of like guys do that stuff. I wish I knew how to do YouTube. I do it myself, but I miss the ball on computers, bro. I don't know. I'm computer illiterate. But when it comes down to for those two is that Trevor Lawrence he was a great quarterback at Clemson. He's got moxie. He's got a killer arm. The dude's he's tough. He's huge. He's all these things. But
long hair.
I think great long hair. He's a great guy. He's stunning. He's like this fucking guy.
That's right.
It's perfect.
Oh,
I think the thing I love about Zack Wilson, the kid, yes, he took two girls to prom or whatever. That was awesome. But bigger than that, man, he's got fantastic. He's got a great delivery. It's compact. It's quick. He's got a great arm too.
Yeah, dude.
He's got fantastic accuracy. He's laser accurate. And I watched his 3 years starting. I mean, he didn't start his freshman year. He kind of played a little bit, and then he got into his sophomore year, and it wasn't great because he was hurt. But
yes,
I think this year it just kind of clicked for him. I think it just kind of slowed down a little bit. His supporting cast got a little bit better. Yeah, I know the teams he was playing weren't great, but I just like the way the kid plays, man. I think he's going to really be the better quarterback that comes out of the stretch. And lucky for us, we didn't get the first pick and look stupid taking him.
That's a good point.
And then Zack Wilson, everybody go, what the hell's wrong with them? They should be taking Trevor Lawrence, so they can't.
That's a great point.
Dude, could you imagine if that were the scenario that actually played out? Like, if we took him at 2 and he was better than Lawrence, how gratifying would that feel?
We deserve it.
Yes.
We deserve it. How long would struggle with this shit team? Come on, man.
I know.
He's getting me excited.
It's about time something. Right,
Joe,
we took 50 years suffering.
Yeah.
Joe's getting me pumped up, man.
All right, keep doing your thing, boys. You guys do a good show. I love it on here all the time, so I'll let you guys go.
Go, Joe.
Yeah,
Have a good night, Joe.
Go
Thank you so
Jets.
much, man. Go Jets.
You two boys. Go Jets.
All right. Later, bro. Thank you for calling, Joe. Really appreciate the call.
Chat's on fire tonight.
Yes.
Loving the calls. Did we get another one during that?
What's that?
Was there another caller?
There was another caller. So, yeah, if you were trying to call, feel free to give us a shot right back. We will answer your call. We are literally doing that because why the hell not? It's fun.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really great. We love talking to you guys. So, before people started calling, we were debating Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson. And I feel... What did I say? Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson,
I
right?
didn't hear you say Russell.
Oh, my bad. So... I don't think there's any debate, and I don't think Joe Douglas will pull the trigger for Russell Wilson.
Okay, go. Let me.
No, it's all good.
Finish your thought.
I just don't think Joe Douglas is going to go after Russell Wilson. If he's going to make a move for a big-time quarterback, it's going to be Watson. I mean, that's the only move. It's either going to be that, keep Darnold, or we draft a quarterback. I mean, there's the three options that could happen. I don't see Russell Wilson coming to the Jets. I think he would be...
I don't think the Jets were in the top four. Like he said.
No. The Jets wouldn't be. I mean, he wants to win. Russell Wilson's competitive, and he wants to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he does.
And Russell Wilson, I think, he gets his credit. Like, people know how great he is. I think he's been really, really good these last, 10 years now. He's been a really good quarterback.
Well, I had him fantasy. He was awful this year.
They don't throw it a lot in Seattle. That's why. They don't. He
was putting up big fantasy numbers.
Big fantasy numbers because he throws touchdowns.
Yeah, and he didn't do that this year.
He and Lockett and Metcalf are deadly.
Dude, I had him. I watched every game from my device where I saw him shit the bed game after game. And here's a caller. He's going to back me up.
Grant Rude said that he's not leaving Seattle, and I would agree.
I agree with that.
What's going on? This is MYJ Today. Who is this? Oh,
Trey Fire, man.
Hold on 1 second. I had to put you on speaker. Go ahead.
What's going on?
So what's going on? Listen. Go Jets, first of all.
Yes.
I just wanted to talk about a few things. I know you guys probably know about the little press conference Joe Douglas had today, which absolutely had me quite happy simply because he kept talking about not wanting to give up the farm and insinuating that they're going to evaluate Zack Wilson and all these other quarterbacks, which I'm all for. My thing is this. I truly believe that if they stick it to and they just stick to the board, that Zack Wilson has the chance to be that perennial Pro Bowler that the Jets have been missing for so long. His acumen, his accuracy, his arm talent is second to none. There's not another quarterback that has that. Yes, I agree that, Lawrence will be the first pick. It's a no-brainer, because everybody just assumes that is the right pick. But everything that I'm hearing through all the aficionados out there is that a lot of these teams are absolutely falling in love with Zack Wilson. I like Justin Fields. His progression takes forever. His arm is like he's real stiff in the pocket. And Zack Wilson has that it factor. And if Joe Douglas decides to just give up Sam Darnold and get that second-round pick, he'll have 2 seconds, 2 thirds, 2 fifths, and let's get the ball rolling. What y'all think?
Listen, man, we can surround Zack Wilson with really good talent. We can get a good defensive pass rusher in free agency. We can get a receiver at 23. We could get a guard at 23. We can make his life better than what Darnold should have been, I guess, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. My thing is this. There's a lot of, I don't know if you guys have been seeing a lot of tweets that, Allen Robinson has been absolutely liking. A lot of stuff has been put out in regards to what the Jets have been doing and stuff like that. I've been on Twitter and following a lot of that stuff. And if they can just somehow get the number 2 pick right, just trade Sam. Yes, he's a good kid. I understand a lot of people saying that, but this is not a popularity contest. This is about results. Sam Darnold is not the right fit in New York. He needs the new scenery. Let's get Robert Saleh, the right quarterback in this system. Zack Wilson is going to flourish. I truly believe. Get him at 2. Get any of a guard like Wyatt Davis or anybody or Vera Tucker if he happens to fall. Then you can even get a corner at one of the 2 second-round picks when you get traded Darnold for that.
Yes.
So you get 2, 3, 2, 5. You have 11 picks. You with maybe Thuney at guard, you get another guard in free agency. You surround this kid with talent. I'm telling you, the Jets are
You're spitting fire, man.
Yeah,
You're
spitting fire, straight fire, dude. Great takes, and I'm actually like, it's a long off season, and like in this stream that we've done tonight, like this is the most fired up I've been. Like hearing you guys talk about these scenarios, it's the best.
Straight fire. So if we take Zack at 2, who you taking at the 23rd?
Okay. It's all predicated on free agency. So this is what I'm thinking. If we get the quarterback, and let's say we get one of these big stud wide receivers, if they get Thuney, my thing is this. I would absolutely go guard. Simply because you solidified left tackle, obviously with the mammoth that Becton is a building and a zip code itself.
He is a skyscraper.
You get Thuney, line him up right next to him. Keep McGovern and get a Wyatt Davis or a Douglas Tucker. Now they're solidified. And now with the second pick, with the first second round pick that they'll have, if you want to go running back, not a fan of that, too high. But hey, if Etienne is there, let's take a flight. He's explosive.
Yeah.
Get this man some talent, and the ball will be fun.
Dude, you literally.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yo, dude, great call. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, listen. So great call.
I'm like energized, bro.
People are spitting fire tonight. It's outstanding. So that scenario where you get, like he said, Zach Wilson at 2, you sign a guard, Joe Thuney, and again, I'm on the Joe Thuney side. Like he's not my number one dude, but if we could land him, that would change the dynamic of our offensive line completely.
We'd be taking a big step back towards what we were.
Well, and he's saying take Wyatt Davis at the other guard.
Yeah. So then you're really solidified at that point.
Right, and that's the point he's making. So, like, I feel like with that scenario and them potentially signing, again, they signed the guard, they need to add another wide receiver to this team. And if they do, that's even more weapons for our quarterback, Zach Wilson, if he's the pick at 2.
There's plenty of talent in this draft for wide receiver.
Yes, and also your comment about Darnold for a second, where you said we have 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, 2 fifths, because that's the truth. We have so many draft picks. Yeah. If we get another pick, I mean, it's just that many more.
It'd be sweet.
It would be dope as hell because I want to really have a good draft. I feel like this is the biggest draft I've ever had as a fan.
We talked about this, but
actually, that's not true. Since 2000. Go ahead. Sorry.
What team would be aggressive enough to take Sam? I guess for a second or a third.
A second? If we're talking about a second right now, because that's what he said. What team would want him for a second?
But I mean, there were some when we talked about this topic a couple weeks ago. There were some people in the chat, and I believe even you were like, you thought you had him at a 3rd round pick.
I still have him at a 3rd round pick.
So what if that's true? Would you still trade him for the 3rd, or would you keep him?
I would trade him. So if we're not getting Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
We absolutely should take a quarterback at 2. I think it's the right time. I think Darnold, like people have said in the phone calls, he's going to be expensive next year if we decide to keep him. Like
but we knew we were not going to keep him.
But what if he plays good? Then you're in a situation where you have to make a decision. That's the point.
Wasn't Fitzpatrick in that same situation?
He was in so many contract years, and he always balled out in his contract year. So, yeah, I just feel like that was a great call by Straight Fire. Yeah, there's so many options with this offseason. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Should we transition into free agency?
So we've got our next segment is the...
Do we have anything in the chat?
I was just about to say we should get to the chat. So it's been pretty busy. So let's see here. Robbie Oak said, get him some coaching. He's talking about Fields right now. Get him some coaching, get him some weapons, get him an O-line, but not for Sam, rolling on the floor laughing.
Can I just say this because I feel like Justin Fields didn't get enough love. Justin Fields' arm is dangerous.
Yeah, he has a rocket launcher.
I agree with Straight Fire. It takes a while for him to load up in the pocket. But if he does, that ball's coming out of there like a rocket, man.
Yeah, he's got a good arm on him. I really liked what I saw in that. I mean, everybody liked it.
Semifinal, it was crazy.
Yeah, the deep ball accuracy was...
Me and you, were we here? here?
Yeah, it was here.
Okay.
Yeah.
We weren't even trying to watch the game. I think it was just on.
They were losing, I thought, at one point.
Right.
And we were like, oh, let's just turn this shit off.
And he just started throwing
And
touchdowns.
he just started going ape shit. Like, legitimately went crazy.
Crazy.
So let's see here. Robbie Oak. He said, I already read that comment. Jason Rhodes, here you go. Name the last quarterback to win a Super Bowl, drafted in the top 5, not named Manning. Hell of a draft, a QB late. Hell, draft or QB later is what he said. Sorry. Straight fire, Robbie Oak. He was responding to Robbie Oak. You don't think he takes long if his first read isn't there? He pulls it down and runs. I would agree with that comment as well. That's one thing I see with Fields. That's not a bad thing that he doesn't see it and then runs, because he's really good at running. Like
no one gives Lamar that beat.
Yeah, so that's the thing. He is a really good runner. He's not as athletic as Lamar, and there's not really many people who are. But he makes plays with his legs, and I think that there is a valid argument to say he's the third or second best quarterback in the draft.
I think I agree with that. That's what okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, some people think he's better. People think the critics are too harsh on him.
I think some, like you said, like some people have him at 5 or lower, and I just think he should get a little love. That's all. Just a little love.
No worries, Robbie Oak. I see comment was about building for Zack. Yeah, definitely. And that's what we've all been talking about tonight, is how we could potentially build for him. So the next segment, and again, feel free to call in if you haven't called in already.
Thanks for all the calls.
Yeah, all the calls are great. We love that. I mean, inject that right into me.
It's like a serum, like a venom.
Yeah. So topic 4 is, who is your pound-the-table free agent that is likely to be available? So we're not going to talk about people like Dak Prescott. Honestly, we shouldn't even really talk about Allen Robinson, because he could potentially be tagged. I don't know if it's likely.
Well, we can still talk about him, though. I mean, a lot of these guys could be tagged.
For this segment, I feel like we should just talk about...
Let me just go to mine.
All right.
It has to be.
Let me get a drink.
Ah, you got to tease?
Talk.
Oh, you want me to still say? I want
to hear you.
to see your reaction.
Go ahead. I'll listen, and then I'll leave.
It has to be Chris Godwin.
He's not going to be available.
Why not?
He's not going to be available. They will sign him or tag him.
No way, bro. I think they're gonna let him go, because they're gonna need to make room anyway. What's their cap situation?
The Bucks just won the Super Bowl. They will find a way to make that work.
Yeah, Brady's gonna take a $1 salary.
He might.
He doesn't take $1 salaries because he's Tom Brady.
Well, I'll say this. I think that... What were you even talking about? Fucking what guys you mentioned? Oh yeah, the Bucks guy, Chris Godwin.
Chris Godwin. Man.
So he's not gonna shake free. There's no way. I feel like they're gonna re-sign him.
That's what I'm saying. If that's just for this early, you're just shutting down the theoretical conversation we could have about it. I feel like that's shutting down a good opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it happens or not. So because some of these you would say the same thing. Brandon Scherf could be tagged.
Oh yeah, that's true. Brandon Scherf, yes. Yeah. I don't know if they will, but he could be. I could see that one for sure.
Joe Thuney, I think.
Joe Thuney.
Oh, Thuney.
It is Thuney. I checked. So
he could be tagged.
Who's your pound there? So Chris Godwin. Tell me why you want him so bad.
Well, that's why I just need your acceptance and the chat's acceptance.
You can talk about Chris Godwin.
The possible tag.
Go ahead. I'm not going to stop you from talking about.
So for me, now that we're on the same page, it has to be Chris Godwin. Him coming to the Jets would be the same as Keyshawn, although
we drafted him.
Yeah,
but that's okay. I hear what you're saying.
But that type of talent, that type of ability. I guess someone could say Braylon Edwards when we got Braylon Edwards in. Same kind of situation.
Braylon Edwards was a big move, yeah, at the time.
Because we got Braylon before Santonio. If
yes.
I remember correctly.
Yep.
Anyway, it just changes the offense, particularly the receiver core, in an instant. So I think that, either way, not dependent on the quarterback selection, whether we keep Sam or whether we go with Zack, I think adding Chris Godwin's a necessity. He can help in both situations. And I think the Jets do need that kind of contingency, especially if we take some of these bigger steps.
All right, so chat. I've made a bunch of fucking free agent profile videos. You know who I don't have a free agent profile video for? Chris Godwin.
I know where this is going. I know exactly where this is
Allen
going.
Robinson, Curtis Samuel, I have Kenny Galladay. I don't have anything on Chris Godwin.
Why? Because you don't think he's going to be available. That's
He
why.
really...
Not because he's not good. He would be a good opportunity.
Of all of the receivers, I'm most confident they will keep him. They can't let him go. After winning the Super Bowl, they'll have to get rid of some other players and just shake free like enough space.
Just entertain me. Just meet me halfway. And without that burning thorn in your head, what would you just assess Chris Godwin as fitting the Jets' scheme and his talent?
Sorry, you asked me a question? I was reading the chat. My bad. What was your question? Go. I was reading the chat.
I'm so disappointed.
All right, so we got a new chatter. I don't recognize you. Salmon Jets 718.
What's up, man?
He said, "What can we get for Darnold on draft day?"
A third-round pick.
Yeah, that's my feeling. I feel like the Jets are not... He hasn't been traded yet because they haven't gotten an offer that excites them. Like, right? If they got an offer that they were excited about, they would have already made the move.
For the draft?
Yes. I think Darnold would have already been traded. Two quarterbacks have already been shipped
I see what
off.
you're saying, but there's a lot of things that happen on draft day, though.
I think that the Jets have been offered a third-round pick, and they're sitting waiting for a first or a second offer.
And they're waiting for Deshaun.
And they are waiting for Deshaun as well. Yes, that's true. All right, so Jets Wire official. Thanks for coming back. I remember you in the last stream. I would just forget about the Watson stuff. Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty quiet in regards to...
Think of where we are, though. I mean, we're March 3rd, 2nd, 3rd.
It's
3rd.
almost free agency, so I think that if he's not traded by the end of free agency, I think that there's very good possibility that he's holding out and not playing, and they are refusing to trade him. Like, I think that might be their stance.
Well, you know what the nail in the coffin is? If they offer the COVID season again.
Say that again. If they offer the what?
The COVID out. Because if they offer the COVID out, he would just use that.
Oh man, I didn't even think about it. Well, the problem is he didn't opt out before, so maybe they can't if they already opted in.
I don't know what the fine print there is, but that would be an easy win for him.
Yeah. So Grant Rood said, I don't like spending money on a free agent receiver. This year's draft is loaded with strong receivers. Free agency needs to go to guard, cornerback, and defensive end. I agree with you on the defensive end and even cornerback. I really still think we can draft a guard. The guards are going to be super expensive in free agency. Brandon Scherf, if he shakes free, is going to get paid bank. He's going to be making like 14, 16 mil probably, even maybe more than that. Joe Tooney, same deal. He's going to be making a boatload of money. And if we're going to spend money, I would rather spend it on a receiver that can really, really be ready to roll for a rookie quarterback or for Sam Darnold.
Well, how can Chris Godwin not do that?
No, he can. Nobody's arguing that he can't do that. There's not been one person that has said that. If Chris Godwin was on the Jets, I'd be floored. I'd be excited.
I don't know. I have a different opinion, I guess, on how bad that offense, that particularly the passing game was.
For the Jets?
For the Jets.
It's terrible.
Yeah. And I just think, I mean, what did everyone say coming out of that season? Did Sam have a fair chance? Now, some people were also attributing that to the line, but a lot of people, the majority of the media sources were saying that Sam didn't have a decent shot at being evaluated for his future talent because of the receiver core that he had. So if we're going to go back through a whole nother season of this BS, I would like to at least know that we at least mitigated that huge, overwhelming...
Oh my God, yes. I want to sign a wide receiver. So the positions that I want most are wide receiver and edge in free agency. I don't want anything other than that. I mean, if we get a guard in free agency, you won't see me crying about it. Like, I'm not going to be upset. But those are my positions. Like, if I'm going in the free agency and spending some money, it's on edge and it's on a wide receiver. And I'm getting young guys. Like, I'm going for the guys that are potential building blocks and not at the end of their careers. Like Yannick Ngakoue, 25 years old. Curtis Samuel, 24, I think. 24, 25. Like, super, super young hitting free agency. That's pretty rare.
Yeah.
So Jets Wire official... He came in and he said, would you guys be fine if we picked Fields?
I need you to read the question again.
Would you guys be fine if we picked Fields? I think I'd be fine. I'd be a little bit worried, but I trust Joe Douglas.
That's what everyone says when they're put in that situation.
If he picks any quarterback, I'm going to support it, because if he sees it that way, that he's a legitimate quarterback and takes him high, how can you not trust him? How can you not have faith in him either?
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I get that. I'm going to put that aside because this question is geared towards wanting us to respond to the talent versus keeping Sam. And I'll take the bait, and I will say that I would still, even removing Joe Douglas's assessment and all all the information behind the scenes, and we just go based on talent, I would still take Fields over keeping Sam based on the talent. I think that Justin brings so many more dimensions, obviously. I think he brings a new energy. He doesn't have this scarlet letter on his chest. He'd be surrounded with the talent. Yeah, that would suck for Sam having to leave, knowing that Justin's getting all this extra cushion. But it is what it is. I mean, straight fire. Jason, both callers called in and pretty much, and Joe called in and basically said that, it just didn't work out, and maybe he'll be a better fit for another team, but it's not getting it done. I don't see him being able to step out of that shadow. And Justin. So
you would be okay with the Justin Fields drafting? Is that
based
what
on
you're
the talent? Yeah, even besides your point of the scouting assessments and behind the scenes knowledge and things like that. If you just go based off the talent, I'd still take him over keeping Sam.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, and I agree. I feel like Justin Fields would be a fine pick, and again, he has the potential. There's no doubt about that. I don't think anybody can argue that. I do think that he has a lot to learn about the NFL game. That offense they run at Ohio State's not it's like a spread kind of thing, I guess, if I could describe it anyway. And he's got a lot of one read plays, and it's true. I mean, I think you can't really argue that, regardless of what the stats say. Okay, we are moving to... Oh, God, we were all over the place. We were supposed to be talking about pound the table free agents, and I feel like you swayed me. We never talked about who our pound the table free agent was.
I said mine.
Who was it?
I said Chris Godwin.
Okay, Chris Godwin. It's my turn.
Oh, yeah, we didn't do yours.
I got two.
Damn,
actually, I actually have three.
We almost had him, Jack.
I have three.
Now we gotta hear about this.
What's going on? This is NYJ Today. Who's this? What's going on, man? Hold on. Man? Let me get you to repeat that. I didn't have you on speakerphone. Try again.
What's up? I'm Jeff Wire here.
How's it going,
Wire,
dude?
Man.
Jets Wire.
Oh, Jets Wire.
Nothing, bro. Crazy approach. I can't wait.
What was that? You're excited for what?
I'm excited for free agency, bro.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Can't wait.
Yeah, we've been waiting a long time. I feel like it's now actually within reach at this point. We're about 2 weeks out right now, right?
Yep, and then right after that we got the draft in about a month and a half.
That's
crazy. If you guys listen to the press conference today, it doesn't really sound like Douglas is totally sold on giving away over picks for Watson.
I heard that, yeah. I saw that
it doesn't, it doesn't, I'm not ruling it out, I'm just saying it doesn't sound like he wants to.
It's all about the bluff, though.
He doesn't want to.
He said it's all. He said it's all about the bluff. He's thinking maybe he's saying one thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And guess what? Whoever we pick with the second pick, Fields or Wilson, you know what? We're going to be able to put more around them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the.
With Watson, you would have over. You'd make us trade over picks away, and half our cap space would be gone because of him.
Yes, and that's true.
Especially me myself. I'm a Watson fan. But I just don't think it's worth it.
Yeah. It would cost an exorbitant amount. I mean, I think that's what's been leaked out.
I kind of feel more comfortable starting with a younger quarterback.
Well, we have.
So for the first 4 years, you won't be paying them that much. And guess what? They can end up being really, really good.
Yeah, that's a good point. The rookie scale allows the flexibility with those rookie quarterbacks for sure.
But I just don't want, and I just don't want Douglas being cheap in the free agency this year. I don't want it. If there's a good, if there's a good receiver that they can get, go all in and get him.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's the approach he's going to take, though.
Like Chris Godwin?
Yeah. It depends if the Bucs franchise tag him. I'm a Godwin fan. I would love him on the Jets. I just don't know if he's going to be available for any team.
Yeah, that's what I've literally been telling him for about 15 minutes is how he's not going to be available.
Listen to me. I hope he's available.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
If you think it, he will come.
Listen, man. Thank you for calling. Do you have any other hot takes for us? Anything you want to talk about?
We'll just see what happens in free agency. That's all I'm going to say.
Hell yeah,
yeah,
man.
dude.
I'm going to type it a little bit more in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, stir it up, man.
Stir it up.
Get in there.
Throw a bomb on the floor.
All right. I'll see you guys
keep
next
it.
I'll call in next show.
Good.
Later,
Thanks
bro.
for calling, man. Have a good night.
All right. No problem, bro. See ya.
All right. Peace.
You guys are great.
Yes. Thanks for giving us another call in.
You're the best viewers in the world.
Yep. So, my pound the table free agents.
Yeah, there it is. There's the shitty
And
pick.
we've mentioned them multiple times.
It's going to be shitty.
Curtis Samuel, I think he would be the best. He would be the best bang for our buck. He's going to be versatile. He's explosive and fast, and he's super duper young. And he's not going to get as much as an Allen Robinson will. Probably not as much as a Kenny Galladay. And so that means he's like a second tier kind of guy. And I would say I'm all in on Curtis Samuel. If we can get him, that would be fantastic. The other one that I have written down is I have two. They're slash, so I would take one or the other. Yannick Ngakoue, defensive end, or Trey Hendrickson, defensive end. We need to get an edge, and I think that's the best way to improve our defense. And then finally, I think they need to be fairly aggressive in getting Richard Sherman, I think. Richard Sherman would be an outstanding leader for our defense, and he'd be really good.
Be a good teacher.
He'd be a really good teacher. Bryce Hall could use some tutelage. And imagine this, if they signed him.
I like this. I'm not going to lie.
You ready?
I like it.
What if they drafted J.C. Horn at 23?
Ooh.
Then you got a first-round pick to tutelage.
That would totally change that secondary round in an instant.
Exactly. So Richard Sherman would probably still start until
sure.
one of those guys took his spot. Like Bryce Hall would probably be the third.
Right.
Yeah, so I would love that.
Oh, Michelle saying Richard.
Yeah, Michelle I think actually wants Richard Sherman. So
Yeah, Michelle also wants Jimmy Garoppolo.
yeah, she really does. Pretty bad. All right, so I hit mine. So we'll go to the last topic of the night.
Any others in the chat before we move on?
Oh, fair point. Fair points. Let's see. The chat is rumbling. So
Man,
we've got.
it's so much easier to be over on this side, just being like, "Hey, check the chat."
Yeah, that is, isn't it? It's nice. James DiPietro said, "Did you see Douglas Sala interview today? They handled it well and left everything to our imagination like we're doing now." Fair point. Extremely fair point. That's what you want. You want the GMs wondering what they're thinking. You want the entire NFL wondering what they're thinking. And so that's what we're doing. They're playing poker right now, and they are hoping to, whatever happens, I think they're open for business. Regardless of whether it's a Watson trade, I think they would listen, obviously. It would just need to be a fair price. And again, Joe Douglas would hit, I think he would do.
Did we ever settle on what a fair price for Deshaun is? We talked about
think
it.
3 first-round picks is fair. I think three and like a couple of other picks, but I wouldn't do much more than like a 3 firsts and a second.
Would you?
I would not give up Quinnen Williams. I think the shit that I see online when people say that is so stupid. Dude, beasted last year, and he's going to fit so good into this defense. It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let's
What else you got?
Yeah, so Robbie Oak thought JD and Robert Saleh played it perfectly, so I'm going to have to watch this. I watched a couple of clips on Twitter, but I'd like to see it from beginning to end. So I'll probably get around to doing that. Jason Rhodes, Sam isn't worth his 5th-year option. Spend it on O-line and cornerback. Absolutely. Robbie Oak, Lindsley, I bet. Lindsley is an option, and he's on my free agent profile video playlist. We could sign Lindsley at center, move Connor McGovern back to guard, which he played at Denver, so he can do both.
McGovern stinks though.
James DiPietro says build a wall.
Build the wall.
Robbie Oak mentioned Jonathan Franklin Myers. Yes, Jonathan Franklin Myers is being slept on. And listen, JFM, Quinnen Williams, and throw an edge in there, man. Like that's a defensive line now. You got 3 guys that can get after the quarterback.
That's a good one. I like that.
they're Jonathan Franklin Myers is like one of the top rated pass rushers. I'm pretty sure. Like as far as young guys in the NFL, like he's one of the best.
No, absolutely.
He gets hits on the quarterback. He gets pressures. So I'm all in on the, adding to our defensive line so we can really get after these quarterbacks.
We had Mel Wilkerson and the other two guys. I can't.
Yeah, Sheldon Richardson.
Sheldon Richardson.
Yeah, and I'd like to bring up all the dark stuff, don't you? The internet is still mad at Mike for taking Sewell second overall.
Who said that?
Grant Rood.
Oh, Grant, come on, man.
Grant Rood,
It was dying away. You had to bring it back up.
don't hold back. Just take him to the woodshed.
Why I took that pick for integrity. You would never have respected me if I backed off what I said back in week 1 and 2.
That is true. He did. That was his initial mock draft when he said Penei Sewell, and then we did the mock draft, and he was already on the fence about it at that time. He did say that. That's true.
Thank you.
I will give you that.
Thank you. So.
Yeah, you can't take Sewell with 2. Just can't. Absolutely not. Not a right tackle. Not when we have 2 capable tackles.
Unless Justin Fields or we were getting Tua and he's lefty.
Grant Rood said he's never forgiving you. All right. Last topic of the night. And again, guys, thank you so much for staying with us.
You guys are the best.
We're having a great time.
We got on here late. We were so stressed out trying to think through on the spot. I gotta give this guy a lot of credit.
The technology in my computer right now is effing up. There's no doubt about it. I'm gonna get it straight though. We'll have the chat up next week. The only problem is I don't. And I would like your opinion on this because right now I love the PTI look on the side here where we've got the comments, or not the comments, excuse me, where we've got the top. I can't even point in the right direction. Where we've got these topics on the side. I couldn't be a weatherman, obviously. Yeah.
You were back here.
So anyway, I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to get you guys back on the screen because I do like to present the chat, even if it's the StreamYard thing. All right, so we're gonna just wrap it up. Last topic. Which NFL team do you think could make a significant improvement in 2021? Which NFL team do you see having the opposite effect, having like a drop off? Do you want me to go?
I'm gonna say one team is gonna have a dramatically better season because they're being aggressive, and that's the Niners. And I think another team is gonna be better because I think they're licking their wounds, and that'd be Dallas.
Okay, Dallas. I mean, they were bad last year, and they do have talent on their team. Yeah. Dak Prescott will be back. Yeah. I like the Dallas one. I didn't have that on my short list. I do think the 49ers, they're on my list. Yeah. I could see them having a resurgence.
They're being aggressive right now.
Well,
I mean, they haven't maybe landed anything, but I do know that those agents are being, or not, I don't know agents, but that front office is being really aggressive.
They're going to be very active, I think, this offseason. Hey, Jason Rhodes. Hold up. Wait a minute, Jason Rhodes. I got to show it as proof that I'm not full of shit. Hold on. I got the Bengals on my list.
Oh, yeah.
So
I would have the Bengals.
The Bengals are on my list. I think that Joe Burrow comes back. I do think that...
Say Washington?
Well, I was going to put Washington.
You going to put Washington on there?
Washington needs a quarterback. If they could get Darnold, that could be interesting. They could potentially catch fire there. He needs good coaching, and that's the thing. He needs to change the scenery, so he could succeed in Washington.
Raiders also could pop.
So I also have a couple. So another one, not just the Bengals. So they're going to protect Joe Burrow. They're going to get Penei Sewell, I think, at 5, and protect Joe Burrow a little bit better. He was doing pretty good last year before he got hurt. And then I also have the Raiders. I know maybe some of you guys will disagree with this one. Their defense has got holes all over it. But I think that if they could get just a little bit better pass rush going, that would help them a lot. I could see them being aggressive and getting a pass rusher in this free agency class. Because right now their offense isn't terrible. They have Josh Jacobs. They've got, Derek Carr. Say what you want about Derek Carr. He's actually a pretty good quarterback. Like, he's not, I'm not going to sit here and say he's top 8 quarterback, top 10 quarterback. But he's definitely in this, I would say he's in the top half of the league as far as QBs go.
I mean, based on his stats.
Yeah.
Has anyone looked at his stats? It's pretty.
He's decent.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, and he has good receivers too. He's got the tight end, Waller. He's got Ruggs. I mean, Ruggs was not very good last year. He kind of disappointed, I think.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, but if they can get him going a little bit, I mean, that's a pretty dangerous offense still. And then you've
Especially
got...
Gruden.
Yeah. So I think the Raiders could be on the way up just a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to be
I agree with that.
a great team or anything like that, but then my down teams, and I'll go first on this one. I actually put the Packers on this list, and there's no real particular reason why I think they're going to drop off, other than the fact that they've been to 2 consecutive NFC Championship games, and that's hard to sustain. Like, you don't see teams really sustaining success like that long periods of time. Like, it's happened before. Like, the Eagles did it. They went to 4 NFC Championship games in a row, but you don't really see teams doing that often, I would say.
Right.
Not frequent. And then the other one I would just like to mention is the Steelers. I feel like Big Ben's, he's definitely on the downward slope here, I think. He showed it a little bit at the end of last year. They potentially lose Juju Smith-Schuster, and again, a lot of people are down on Juju, but I don't think he's a terrible wide receiver. Like, I think people are really turned off by his attitude with the, like, dancing bullshit or whatever, and it gets me a little bit annoyed too, to be honest with you. I mean, it's pretty annoying to see him dancing on the field. Like, I don't know, it just seems kind of like staged, if you will. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Like, just go dance somewhere else, asshole. Nobody cares. Like, just get over yourself. So, yeah, I feel like them losing him, they're going to potentially lose Bud Dupree. They're one of their edge rushers, so you could just see them falling back a little bit.
Yeah.
Bengals could go maybe a little bit.
Patriots could drop off.
Yep, I have them on my list. Patriots, yep. So, Belichick doesn't draft good. We talked about that last week, too, I think. And if he doesn't start hitting on these picks...
Except for the pick he landed on in the 6th round.
Just pass. We're not talking about Tom Brady. Every week. It's every week. You should do that. You should make that a thing. Every week you have to try to drop Tom Brady comment.
Oh, yeah, I'll take up the challenge. I accept.
Yeah, so Robbie Oak, Juju seems distracted. He does seem distracted.
Absolutely.
And it's weird too, because like he saw what Antonio Brown kind of went through. Like,
yeah,
you would just think that, I know he's not the same person. Like, let's not get it crazy here. Like, Juju is not the same person as Antonio Brown, but like you saw a player really fall from grace.
Yeah. You know what team I have is the most likely to drop? The Ravens.
Oh, I don't see that at all. I think the Ravens are still solid.
Do you not remember how shaky that team was?
They were shaky, and they weren't as explosive on offense. Like, Lamar Jackson wasn't nearly...
Defense is figuring them out.
I agree.
And then he started throwing his team under the bus. Dude, I think they're dropping.
I mean, again, I disagree with you, but I can get what you're saying. You're not off base by saying that.
I just think it gets worse. Unless they can reinvent the game plan for Lamar.
Jason Rhodes, great comment. He says, we really want the Seahawks to fail this year.
Yeah, that's
yes.
good
So, listen, if they could, I mean, if they were to trade Russell Wilson, and assuming they would probably not get a quarterback back, that would be, woo! That would be good old news. That would be really awesome. Like, if they could somehow get in a situation where Russell forces his way out, kind of like the Deshaun thing where he's trying, that would be awesome. And yeah, there are a lot of reasons. Robbie Oak, Jason, so many reasons we want the Seahawks to fail. Yes, we want them to fail for Jamal.
Absolutely.
He wanted to win, right?
Yeah.
That was what this was all about. He wanted to start winning.
He said the Jets weren't going to get him there.
Crazy. Yes, Seattle goes way down this year. The Saints will fall due to their cap space. Yes, James DiPietro. That has to be the case. What is their team going to look like after this year? I still think they're going to be a bad team, and we have them on our schedule, and I'll be honest with you. I feel like we win that game. We beat the Saints, I think, this season. We play them.
Yeah, they're going to struggle on offense, but not on defense.
Dude, they are not. They have the worst cap situation.
They do.
In a bad cap year.
I understand that, but I still think they're going to have a pretty decent defense.
James DiPietro, I'm putting you in a homework assignment right now. Find out what is their current cap space. I'm pretty sure it's like negative 16 million or something.
No way.
Yes, it's really bad.
Wow.
The Saints, yes. There you go. Let's get Marshawn Lattimore, the cornerback. Listen,
good. I
they
like that.
just re-signed him recently. It was maybe a year or two ago, I think. I'm pretty sure. Is he at the end of his contract? I don't remember which one it is. But this is a first-round cornerback, and he's expensive. And they're in such a bad situation, they might be willing to take offers on him.
Oh, absolutely. If he's sitting there, of course he would.
If they wanted 23 for him, I actually think I would do it. Oh, minus 30 something, Grant Root said.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it's that bad.
Grant, no way.
Yeah, so listen, they have to cut people, and I'm pretty sure this could be me being full of shit. I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints were wishing that Drew Brees would retire.
I see what you're saying.
Because that would save them money, I'm pretty sure.
I wonder what his contract was.
Bad. I heard they were $60 million over the cap, James DiPietro said.
Whoa.
I have to look that up now.
Yeah, we gotta look at it.
Because it's on, there's a website called Over the Cap, and I can look that up. And just, it would be too crazy. Over the Cap Saints. Let's just check that out. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wow. There's a lot of red there.
Yeah. I'm trying to just find, oh my God.
64 billion.
James DiPietro with the pull of the night. 64 million over the cap.
I would be.
64.
If you're a player, you're like, I'm fucked.
Listen, do you know what the cap number is for this year in the NFL?
It's high.
No, it's low, dude.
Well, no.
Because of the COVID situation.
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm sorry.
180 million. They're almost
What's
70
it?
million behind that.
I'm doing the math in my head, and it's frightening. It's like, if I'm a player, you're like, you already got your stuff packed.
Right. Breeze
You
is
know?
taking a 1.1 million salary this year, according to James DiPietro. Yeah, Robbie Oak, they're going to have to cut people. There's no way. And I'm surprised that we haven't seen the cuts yet. They're going to have to cut people.
Yeah, no. 64 million?
Yes.
Oh my God. You got to cut half the team.
It's going to be an insane free agency. And that's what I feel like we aren't talking. Maybe we aren't talking about that quite enough.
What did they reach on? I don't know.
The Saints?
Yeah, they must.
They re-signed Drew Brees. They re-signed Alvin Kamara. They re-signed the wide receiver, Michael Thomas.
Had a height, but I don't remember reading Breeze's contract being that astronomical, though.
Dude, yeah, I'm sure he was making a lot of money. He's apparently got a $1.1 million salary. I don't know about that. That must not be including guarantees. There's no way he's playing for $1 million. That would be weird.
How dare they?
I mean, they would have to be giving him more money because then it would be
I
suspicious.
mean, unless he's like one of those quarterbacks who just wants to play.
That would be crazy. That would be nuts. Well, listen, we have had the ball talking to you guys. I got no other comments. I think we've ran out of our topics.
I think we had a pretty exhaustive conversation.
Yeah.
The phone calls were fantastic.
Yeah, seriously. Like, if you're joining us, if you're joining us for the first time, if you watched tonight, or if you called for the first time, like, make that the weekly thing. Like, we would love to hear from you guys.
Let's hang out.
And again, it's only going to get better because once free agency starts, we're going to actually have signings to talk about. Like, they're going to be making moves.
Yeah,
And
I was so excited. I almost told him to put it on the calendar for today.
For what? For free
To talk
agency?
about signings.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't wait. And that's the thing. Like, I'm pretty sure free agency's happening on, like, a Wednesday night or something. Like, it starts that night, I think.
It's a weird night. That was.
So, we are really just having a ball doing this with you guys. You want to say something?
Well, no, and that's why we're saying we're a month and a half away from the draft. Believe it or not.
Yes.
So
Well, once free agency starts is what he means.
Yeah, but no, we'll be right around the corner. Is what I'm saying.
Yep.
Getting ready to get spicy.
Getting ready for off season to change this team. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. We've had a ball. I will try to prevent the black screen issue thing. I'm gonna probably just stick to the method that I used tonight because we didn't have the black screen tonight. Obviously,
we just lose the StreamYard to put your comments up. On display.
We're gonna figure it out one way or another.
So if you see that, we could be testing it. John tested the stream probably for 3 hours. I don't know if anyone was saw. Did you disable viewers? I guess?
Yeah, nobody could see it. I was running tests throughout the week this past week. It was actually the weekend, and I ran a stream for 3 hours.
No issue.
With the same methodology, and no issue, no black screen, and it instantly turned to black tonight. So
we'll figure it out.
It is what it is. Thank you, boys, for calling. Thank you so much for a great show. Can't wait to see you next Wednesday night. Have an awesome day.
Have an awesome rest of your week.
Have a great weekend. Go Jets.
Let's do a Jet Chat.
See you guys next time. J-E-T-S